All right, good afternoon and welcome to MBA Education's How Support Automation Drives Immediate ROI for Lenders webinar. My name is Amanda Straub and I'll be facilitating today's session. Before we get started, I wanted to point out a few things about the Zoom platform. You can bring up the chat box by clicking on the chat icon located at the bottom of your screen. You may need to shake your mouse a little for the icon bar to appear. Once you click the icon, a box will pop up, and this is where you can ask questions of the presenters, and they will address them at the end of the webinar. At the end of the presentation, we'll have a short survey. So please make sure you provide your honest feedback on today's session, as it helps us improve our future webinars. All right, I'd like to introduce Justin Schmidt, VP of Marketing at Capacity. All right, Justin, the floor is all yours, and thank you all again for joining us today.
Thank you so much, and welcome everyone to our little webinar here. Over the next 45 minutes, we will discuss with a customer of ours, American Pacific Mortgage and Christopher Rotz, how support automation drives immediate ROI for lenders. Chris is in charge of a lot of things, automation over at APM, so he can help provide some examples, some learnings and some other things that they've picked up along the way on their journey towards bringing automation into their business. And I hope that you can leave today with a really good idea of what executing a support automation and an automation roadmap looks like for lenders. So to start here, I'm Justin Schmidt. I'm the VP of Marketing at Capacity. And Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
As just said, my name is Christopher Rotz. I am the Director of Process Analytics at American Pacific Mortgage, which essentially means my job is to work with our leaders and our departments to get the resources to our employees to give them the best chance to succeed, whether that's a tool or support or just an updated process.
Thank you, Christopher. So for the agenda today, we're really going to have four main buckets. The first one is introductions, a little bit about APM and a little bit about Capacity. Then we'll get into the heart of the presentation, which is really three key areas. Identify what are the first things that we can find that can be automated inside the business. What are the opportunities for automation? Second is the implementation. Once you get going with automation, how do you manage the implementation, getting buy-in, driving usage, that kind of thing. And then finally, once you start automating one thing, you begin to see the power of it. You look at where else you can apply automation inside the organization. And we'll cover this in the expansion section. For each of these three, I'll lay out a little bit of a table setting, and then we'll really be asking Christopher questions to share his expertise and his knowledge and his perspective. So most of the content coming from this presentation is going to be the answers to Christopher's questions. We're going to make this very conversational. So if I have to go back and forth on a slide, we will, but be prepared for some really great insights from Christopher. And without further ado, let's get into the introductions. So Christopher, why don't you introduce us to APM and what you guys are doing and a little bit about the business.
American Pacific Mortgage is a top 15 mortgage lender. We opened in 1996. We have nearly 200 branches and are in 49 states. And at this point, we have more than 1,400 loan originators across the country. We focus mostly